Hi, everyone.
Hey, welcome to Farm Talk Friday. It is March 17th, 2023. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna. How you
Hi.
doing, honey?
I'm good.
This is a whole new era of Farm Talk Friday. This is the two-shot era.
The two-shot era.
And we're back.
And we're back. So if Julian comes back on, I bet Julian knew what was going to happen to us, or he would at least understand it, because I think he's been working for Meta.
Okay. Yes, maybe there's a 3-minute, 30-second sort of
Time.
yeah,
Timer.
maybe that's the default setting. I don't know what's going on. But
No, it's too far.
anyway, listen, we are going to be talking. We're continuing on
Yes.
the phone. Okay.
We were on sorghum.
Back to portrait mode. Anyway, they're hard to trim because the stems are super brittle. They're like metal, so you have to trim like
Here's the
crazy.
stem.
Anyway, it takes forever. So
It could be good for little brooms.
yeah,
Little
brooms.
brooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not get rid of all the sorghum, because I do like making these. They were really pretty, and I was using this. So this is sorghum. Whoever just jumped on, and it just made like a really nice little bundle that you could burn. Or I was using it more as like a spiritual bath, where you like hit yourself.
Yeah.
So I had another medicinal herb on this, the jackass bitters, and I was cleansing people as they came into my Mahashivaratri event last month. So you don't always have to use Palo Santo or white sage, which are both sometimes over harvested and in natural environments, like kind of endangered. So you can do other things like sorghum. But as far as like trying to grow a lot of it for our chickens, we just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. So, death to sorghum,
That's just sorghum.
but the return of mangoes and mangas.
Yay!
Look at that. This came from our community orchard here at Rancho Delicioso. They're almost ready to eat. Anyway, the trees, all of our mango trees here are loaded, or they've got, little fruits coming. And it's an interesting thing. I think only in Costa Rica do they have the two words, manga and mango. Okay, so in Costa Rica, the bigger ones are called mangas. And the real small ones, which is a different type, are called mangos.
Well, and there's many varieties within each manga and mango category.
But in Costa Rica, all the big ones, mangas, all the small ones, mangos. In the real world, mango. Do they say
No,
mango?
I think
Manga. Okay. And the rest of the world, manga is a Japanese comic book. Or any comic book from any country that is in the style of manga from Japan. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. So good one, baby. Okay, so what do I got? Rain. We've still been getting lots of rain. Hi, Wesley. It's so good to see you. Oh, yay. Wesley is amazing. I met him years ago at Sunset Music Festival, a Disco Donnie production, and he was like the best volunteer that you could ever ask for. And I've been very grateful to have Wesley continue to, show up here and there in my life. So thanks for being here, Wesley. I know. How could you forget Wesley? He was so awesome. So
Totally awesome.
Really great to see you online. I'm glad you're blushing. Okay, so aside from sorghum, over in the area where we were growing this, we have some other plant, and Ken's like, "Is that sugarcane?" And so we had wanted to plant sugarcane for a long time, and I am outside every day and I am doing things every day and Ken does things every day, but we do have workers and, and sometimes we give them instructions and sometimes we forget to follow up on things. And so sometimes we get surprised. And so I am pretty sure that we have sugarcane growing, which is going to be really great because we currently use sugarcane for the weevil traps that we've been setting.
So palm weevil.
Palm weevil. Yeah. So there's a huge global problem, and so we're just dealing with that in our own local neighborhood. And Ken's putting on his crazy glasses. First of all, I'd like to say I thought it was very cute. Ken's like, let's wear crazy glasses. I'm like, okay, great idea. And sure, no problem. And then I got here. And I'm like, where's your crazy glasses? Because I was going to wear those ones. And he's like, well, I don't have crazy glasses. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I did bring two. It's just that these were so crazy. I'm like, I don't know. I'll just put on these ones, which are cool. These are like the Dave Asprey brand. What is he called?
True blue.
True dark.
True dark.
So these yellow ones help with... well, they all help with like the blue blocking, right?
Yeah.
It's just that these ones are like the middle ones. So there's like clear ones and then these yellow ones that, well, I only have the yellow ones, but they matched Ken's or my bee crazy glasses, which I wore 2 days ago, and I'll explain that later. But anyway, so crazy glasses it is. Okay, so moving on from sugarcane, other news this week is Bloom Network. They have been around for a long time, and it's run by Magenta, and she's just been working really hard for a really long time. And they were part of the Evolver network for years, and then they broke off, and then and there's just been crazy in the world, and there's been a lot of just shift. She moved from California over here, and
what is Bloom Network? So
the Bloom Network is a network of people that care about things like we do, like permaculture and New Earth stuff, and so they've been setting up local blooms, and we're technically Green Wave is part of the Bloom Network, and so they just set up some new back end system, and it's really great to just see that it's continuing to go. And I think any effort that we're making, towards like these goals of like how do we redesign the world, I think are good, at least in theory. Like let's keep trying them out. And I want to applaud Magenta because she could have given up a few times now, and she hasn't. So yay, Magenta and Bloom Network and everyone else that's been working with her, like Hannah for years, not Hannah Mermaid, a different Hannah, and Meg. And we had actually a Bloom Network person come to the Mahashivaratri event that I did. It just worked out that she was in the country. It was super cool. So yay. And then other news, we have this yin yang garden in front of our house, and that's still kind of on hold, what it is that we're going to do with that. It's just, we took the fence down and we're just totally overrun by Ken's cute agoutis that he loves and the iguanas. So we haven't figured out what that system's going to be yet. I'm kind of wanting slightly raised beds, but the problem is that you go building something and then eventually they'll collapse. So it's like we have to like really think ahead, like, okay, do we continue within the ground? Because Julian, I'll totally mention that in just a moment, but like, do we like there's something beautiful about like, yeah, it's coming from the ground, it's totally connected to the earth. I mean, it's all of the earth, but or do we raise the beds and then like we might be able to design something else so that we can at least enjoy some of what we're trying to grow. And so the reason why we took the fence down was because it was starting to deteriorate. And
well, it looks better now too.
And it looks better. Ken's really, it's very important to Ken.
Well, I mean, we could grow some like thorny bushes along the border, and then just have two gates in the front and the back, real small fence area.
Mm-hmm.
We could
All
try that.
things. So we haven't decided yet what
Yeah.
that design is, but rest assured we will be updating you all on that. No, Harry, we have not seen that. We'll definitely check that out. He just put in the comments, Regenera Vita. Cool, that sounds great. And then Julian is reminding us that magenta is included in a book that he helped produce or that he single-handedly produced. Julian's amazing, so I don't remember how that went exactly. Were you the only one behind that, Julian, or was there other people behind that? But there's a fantastic book called Re-inhabiting the Village, and magenta is featured in that. And that's the whole reason why we're part of the Bloom Network and why I know magenta is through Julian, so thank you, Julian. And then the last thing, the last update is Momento Oro. So we had it yesterday. Well, I guess I'll keep them on. It's very, you should put the bees glasses back
Yeah,
on.
totally putting
So I was wearing these for Momento Oro. I was a little bee. Momento Oro, I'm sure that we've mentioned on other Farm Talk Fridays, but it would be like a year ago because it's only an annual occurrence. It's when this particular tree blooms. And so they're called Cortez Amarillas. And I renamed the tree because I thought maybe it was kind of like colonizer, like Cortez was here and then they called some of the trees the Cortezes. And but you know, some Costa Rican friends, like, and specifically our neighbors, they're like, no, I don't think that's why they call it.
Well,
Cortez
yeah.
is just another name for wood.
Because the tree doesn't have the name Cortez, it's Cortesia. With a S-I-A and Cortez is easy.
I think it's just Cortez Amarillo.
No,
Anyway.
A-S-I-A.
Anyway, yeah, so whatever. But I call this event the Momento Oro, which means the golden moment. And so this tree, it will bloom and it's like these bright yellow blooms. It kind of looks, a lot of people are like, when they see it, they're like, oh, that's like those ginkgo trees. And it's like, yeah, maybe they're related. I don't know, but someone just put in a comment. Thanks for the mention. You're welcome, Julian. But yeah, these trees are just beautiful. They have these bright yellow blooms, and then they are only flowering for 1 to 3 days a year. And if it rains, it's game over. Like from what it looked like, even from the morning. So I saw it, and you don't have very much time, right? So we do Momento Oro is this pop-up festival. It's like a small community gathering. It's like my Frody Fest festival. You know, anything's a festival if it's festive, right? Doesn't
That's
matter
right.
how many people show up. But,
That's right, Annie.
but yeah, I mean, it's a community gathering and it's a pop-up event. And I had the idea for years, and I was slowly talking people into the idea, like telling them to join this WhatsApp group and why. And I promised to only post, you know, a few times a year in it, and mostly around this window period, you know, to get people ready, like, hey, remember, we're all in this together. And, you know, the reason why we're part of this group is that we're going to try, you know, to drop everything on that day that the tree's doing its thing and then gather and celebrate the tree. And so this is the second year that it's all come together. So yeah, it was just another perfect event. And if you want to see pictures, you can see them on this feed, my personal feed, or I posted like all the pictures on the Green Wave House page. So, and then it's just, you know, it's been really touching because we had somebody that is not part of our community. She's like a friend of one of the daughters of our extended community members, and she was just like, I'm so touched. She's like, I did not grow up this way, where my family was celebrating a flowering tree. And I'm like, well, you know, I didn't grow up this way either, but you know, you just like act on your own values, right, when you grow up. And so it's very cute. And then it was really beautiful to find out that we had another friend that had seen the pictures from last year, and she has been part of our extended community for a long time, but she only started living here full time maybe like 6 months ago. And I had no idea that she was waiting for this to happen, and she was so excited to find out, like, is this the flowering tree event? She's like, I've been wanting to come since I saw the pictures from last year. So that was really sweet. Anyway, go nature.
Yes.
And happy weekend. Have a safe.
And happy St. Patty's Day. We'll see you next week on Farm Talk Friday.